South Africa and Kenya have put on an amazing spectacle of wildlife over the past few days. Let's take a look at some of those highlights. This is Safari Catch Up.
Wow, we have not yet got any baby impala, nor have we seen any, but we're starting to see the females' bellies getting a little bit bigger. They are definitely now starting to show that they are pregnant. So the countdown continues. We wait with anticipation. But ooh, a bit jumpy there. This is quite weird. You usually see male impalas by themselves. They've got the bachelor herd, which is, what you can see here, is majority males together, and then you've got the breeding herd where it's got one male. I'm sure that male of that breeding herd is worried about all these bachelors running around his females. Obviously now is not the breeding season, so they shouldn't really be mating with each other, but these males are obviously keeping an eye on some of the females. You can see, I mean, look at them all. They're chasing each other around. It's definitely some built up emotions.
Well, surprise, surprise, everybody. My suspicions were proved correct. The three amigos, they have made a kill. I suspect from the noise that was being made, it's a young red hartebeest, but I could be mistaken. That's just the noise that I think was coming and emanating when I first heard it while I was having my coffee. Nice way to start the day. Jason, the biggest kill that, well, they've done it a couple of times, but the largest animal, I would say, is probably the big kudu bulls that they've taken down. Multiple. They've also taken down adult hartebeest. They haven't done adult eland, but they've taken down young ones. They've done young mountain zebra, also young gemsbok. They don't seem to fight much over the kills. They generally take down decent sized animals, so there's plenty to go around.
We have started on a very warm morning. The sun is out, and very lucky to have started with these very vulnerable birds in Africa that are called the southern ground hornbills. I got a pair, and my guess is a male and a female, just going through the golden grass. They spend most of their time on the ground. No wonder the name. And there's a male and a female. Jacob, good morning. And Jacob, you're wondering whether have you ever seen the chicks over southern ground hornbills? Jacob, unfortunately not. Jack went for one good reason. These birds will not nest on the ground. They will nest in very big trees, in the thickets, in the forest. And apparently, in general, they'll always lay 2 eggs, Jacob, and somehow it's only one that survives to see the end of the day. So it makes it even more difficult to see them.
Here we've got another one of our, there's a puddle of water there. It's a male. Saddle-built stork. You might ask me, how can I tell you it's a male? There's a little, as it moves its chin there, you see that little yellow wattle underneath the chin? It's moving around. The female's got a nice bright yellow eye, and the male develops that little wattle underneath the chin. Another one of our big 6 birds. Big 6, meaning large birds, slow breeding, and are regarded as vulnerable, if not endangered. So this bird is regarded as endangered and is, I found last time I heard the census, they reckon there were about 60 breeding pairs in the Kruger National Park. Occurring along river systems and wetlands.
Good morning everyone and welcome to this part of the Mara and Kewa. Look at what we have. Morning with elephants. So these elephants are walking towards the river there, and I can see it's very clear on the sky there. So meaning that temperatures are going to rise very, very fast. There's less dew in the grass, and I can tell because of the walking, some of them are just gone into the river there. And I can see them drinking, only that they're behind the eucalypt bushes. You can see how big they are, but yet you can't feel or hear when they're walking towards us. That young one is trotting and trotting. You can tell they're quite thirsty. It was a busy night of feeding. The green patch shows that there is a ravine or river around there, and as soon as they get into the bushes there, we cannot be able to see them, but I can already hear some of them drinking. Just like how humans will drink coffee or tea in the morning, these elephants are going for their morning drink.
We're definitely going to keep up the theme of birds this morning, and we're often seeing a single ground hornbill in this general area, maybe sometimes just across the river from here feeding, but in this general area. So there must be a breeding nest nearby. Now they like to breed in very large cavities, so where a huge branch is maybe broken off of a tree, there'll be a big cavity into the sort of bole of the tree itself, and that's how ground hornbills like to breed. Naomi, I'm not sure, but they create, after many years they had to try them, they create boxes that very much mimic a cavity in a tree. They put it up in the tree. It's a big wooden box that very much sort of provides the same habitat, breeding site that the birds would naturally choose, and they just hope for the best. So in some areas they'd probably put up a few and hope that they use them, and they very likely will use one in consecutive years, again and again. So conservation efforts by EWT have worked really well, and the southern ground hornbill population is doing quite well compared to many years ago.
We have some very special herbivores here. We have the buffaloes, which is one of the biggest herbivores that we have around here in East Africa. Second biggest from the eland, which is one of the biggest antelopes in Africa. And also second from the elephant, because in terms of what they do in the ecosystem, they also provide pathways for other animals because they are bulk herbivores, they're bulk grazers. So here I can see some of them are resting. It was a long journey, long trot to the watering hole or to the river. You can see the calf there staring at us. A morning routine of resting and chewing cud is always seen. We always observe this kind of behavior. Having small calves, they have to be very careful. You can see they're all super alert. They can smell the water because we are only like about 20 meters from the watering hole. So it's very essential for them to be just careful.
we arrived on scene here and we've got a couple of kites flying over a termite mound. Now there was a booted eagle on the ground and a fish eagle both on the ground next to the mound, and these kites are flying. They're obviously alates. I can actually see a couple, not easy to see with the camera. Oh my goodness, there's actually a falcon over there. I think that's a peregrine falcon. If this is a peregrine, it'll be a long time since I've seen one. The light is not great, but with my binoculars I can see the mask. We had a Wahlberg's eagle here, fish eagle, booted eagle, a falcon. Here he comes. Oh, he's coming quickly. Oh, he's going to enjoy the termites as well. This is unreal. So many raptors, Johan. Unbelievable.
After the ground hornbills, I was telling you my small little debate between myself and Imara, who is on camera this morning with me. Do we look for the marsh gulls or do we look for the toppy boys? Apparently, we have found both. And with a buffalo carcass. It seems like it was a young buffalo to me, looking at the size of the ribs, medium size I would say, looking at the size of the horns. On a closer look, I am thinking this is one of the sub-adult females from that pride, and most likely this is an Assyrian. I'm not sure exactly where they are headed. So we got an Assyrian there, we got Kito, and followed by Jojo. But I'll also show you my favorite boy, one of my favorite boys, Kiongozi. Now that's Kiongozi there. He's 3 years old, one of the youngest males here, followed by Otipo. Are you going to say hello to each other? So 3 males, 2 girls, Jojo, Kiongozi, Otipo, Naserian, and Kito.
Have a look at this. Sure. How cool is that? The patience game. What are you doing underneath there? I think they're obviously wanting to come and have a little drink of water, of course. Here we go. Who are you, madam? Okay, copy. Thank you. So, one of the other guides says that this is Sibuye. Can only be Sibuye and a little cub. This is the first time I'm meeting Sibuye. Malika, absolutely, wow. I'm speechless. Absolutely speechless.
Back here, a vulture is still perched there looking all around. I think he was here because maybe there was something to eat. So one thing that we always notice is the pink on the top of the head, and this is one thing that is quite ideal about this vulture. So the vultures stick their heads in deep carcass. So the reason why we have them, they have very bare neck, and also for this one has a bare head also. And also funny thing about this the bare skin on the top of the head helps in thermal regulation, so reducing the heat and the temperatures of the body during the day or during the heat of the day. So they can flush that skin brighter red when it's hot, increasing blood flow to the surface or to cool down on the face. So it's just like topies. Topies have a gland on front of their faces that also help when they cool down the body, the blood in the body. So also vultures help in thermal regulation. So even though he's patched there, he can still cool down even though the sun is super hot.
Afternoon. We are very lucky to have started with my favorite boy, Moja Moja. Look at him running, not sure why he's running. And he just took off and went running towards that female. I'm not sure for what reason. And I think that's Lola. I'm yet to confirm. We still got a long way to learn the lions, and I do not think this is out of the ordinary. There might be something that's going between them. There's something also she does not like in him. There's something that Moja Moja is not happy about her, but that was a big leap, a big chase. I have not seen a long time a male lion running that quick that we even lost her from our frame, and Imara was like, what has happened there? And I just told her, Moja Moja, you know, is my favorite boy, maybe he's trying to excite us.
So we've managed to spot one of the more common of the Eastern Cape raptors or birds of prey, this being the jackal buzzard. And it's called so because of its very distinct call, which sounds very much like a jackal. The female is generally quite a bit larger and darker than the male. She would lay 1 to 3 eggs in a nest. And like with a lot of the raptors, you have this Cain and Abel effect, especially when they aren't getting fed very much. And so the one that hatches first would then generally eat the second one. The third egg is mostly like an insurance policy. So with any raptors that are endangered or there's big problems, you know, with them, and their numbers are dwindling, a lot of the conservationists will go into the nest and take that third egg and rear it.
Wow, we're still sitting here with our beautiful lions. These little cubs are getting a little excited, playing around with each other. Don't bite me. Little smack dished out. Gareth, so stalking each other. Stalking each other is a very big one. So they'll run a little bit, and then they'll kind of get behind a tuft of grass and then jump out at one of their little siblings. This kind of play here, kind of lying on their back, very similar to like trying to strangle an animal. You know, you've got it on the ground, try and keep it on the ground now. They climb up on top of each other as well. And then I think that one of the most important ones is the ankle tap. So when they're chasing each other, they'll try and ankle tap each other, try and throw each other off balance.
So we're carrying on with a little bit of birding, and of course here we've got 3 female ostriches and a male. If you didn't know better, you would think that they're ostrich trees, or strange things growing out the ground, but all lying down I think they're probably a bit tired of being blown around by the wind. So, all just taking a little... Oh, that one on the right looks like he's going to fall asleep. Is he? Is he getting a bit of shut-eye? Keeping his neck very straight up. I can sleep standing up. It's quite a talent. Some people can sleep sitting up. Oh, there he is. He's woken up. It's from boarding school where we were, cadets. We had to stand in the sun for hours, and I literally trained myself to get a bit of shut-eye. One on the left also. A little bit snoozy. Yeah, there it is, isn't it? Rather odd. Don't often see ostriches sort of lying down and then catching a snooze on top of it. It's a good date for a snooze, albeit a little bit windy.
We are watching that beautiful sunset. So it's time for us to wrap and say goodbye, and we'll see you again tomorrow on the Sunrise Safari, and then catch up later on the Mara Live. So here in Nkewa, we say Lala Salama. Just watch that beautiful sunset as it sinks in through the hills in the background. Heather, it's magical, magical sky. It's like on fire. We call this the sepia light.
Well, here they come, everybody. Here they come. They take their time. We almost lost patience. It almost sounded like the bellows were moving away from us. And those noises. But now, here comes the herd. Eagerly to the water's edge. I read somewhere that a buffalo can drink about 36 litres of water in a very short period of time. Our poor hippos are just watching their water level drop. They're going, did you just say 36 litres each buffalo? Now they need probably about 36 to 40 an adult per day, but they can take in about 35, 36 in one go, which is quite remarkable.
Oh my goodness, what on earth is going on here? When we first saw them, I thought they were two crocodiles just taking a light afternoon stroll. Turns out these are monitor lizards. There's two of them. I don't know where the second one is. I don't actually know. But the first one is I think it's he, is climbing up. It's been dive bombed by some birds already. I think it's in the same... No, it was weird. Who was it? It was a starling. Have a look at that, those skills. That's what I thought it was going to do. So the weavers are nesting in this tree here, and it's possible it may want to try and have a go at that. Imagine if it was a crocodile climbing a tree. Can you imagine? I don't think we'd be safe, you know. If a crocodile's climbing a tree, it's definitely walking around.
We've made our way over to the bat-eared fox den site, and the little puppies are out and playing around. They're attacking little sticks, they're jumping all over each other and having lots of fun in this late afternoon light. And we've already noticed how much these guys have grown in the last week or so. It's incredible. And they reach sexual maturity at around 10 months, which is then obviously fully grown. It's just crazy how quickly they grow. Massive ears, all for listening out. They say, you know, they do also assist quite a lot with thermoregulation, so a lot like elephants' ears, but also excellent for listening out for the insects and termites in particular that they feed on. They say an adult can eat up to 1.2 million termites in one night. That is crazy. That's a lot of protein.
Look at this. How lucky are we? Brett, this is so very special. Absolutely. We're so curious about what's happening with the adults. What are the adults up to? What are they doing? Where are they going, Mom? They're jumping around like little bunnies. Pounce, pounce, get them. Oh, this is adorable. So sweet. Like, comes like, what you looking at? Oh, a lot of vocals from these little cats. Oh, it heard me. I'm not mocking you. Tariro, absolutely. What a day indeed. Spectacular. Spectacular.
So we've come on back onto the western side, and we started with zebra, and it looks like we're going to finish with them as well. And it's just beautiful in this light with the sun now just setting. But we saw all of these zebra were together earlier, and I was wondering, jeepers, there's going to be some conflict here eventually. And look at this. I'm sure the stallions are fighting with each other because they generally only keep about 5 or 6 females, but they all come together here, and I think there's a little bit of agitation between the males. I'm sure you'll see some kicking going on. The youngsters are in the mix, and look at them kicking up all the dust. There go the kicks. Jeepers. Oh, crazy scene here.
That was a brilliant look at the safari highlights from South Africa and Kenya over the last day. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. See you next time.